Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm getting right into it with this NYX white eyeliner. Today, all I'm going to be doing is drawing the flag. That's all I'm doing for this part. So as you can see, I'm just taking this liquid eyeliner and using that to draw the outline of the flag where I want it to be on my arm. The reason I'm using white is because when I go back over with color later to make the colors of the flag and everything like that, it's going to be a lot easier to color white than it is to cover over like if I used a dark eyeliner. So you can see I'm just kind of messily drawing a flag here. And these are just some cream colors. You can get them at any special effects store. You can get them at any Halloween store, anything like that. And I'm just using a little spatula here and putting them directly on where I want them. So I'm just taking the blue and I deposit that onto the place where I want it, and I'm just using this flat shader brush to kind of put that where I want it to go. And the cool thing about this cream color is it's very movable and it's very pigmented. It's going to stay and it's going to look good for a while. And next I'm doing the exact same thing with the red. This is pretty basic, so all you want to do is color in parts of the flag. I didn't count the stripes or anything crazy like that since I am going to be going over it with blood and all that stuff. So I wasn't aiming to make this look perfect. However, that would be kind of cool for the 4th of July. So I'm just taking synthetic brushes to kind of spread this around. They are easier to clean, and since I'm using some intense color, that's what was my main goal. So I'm just kind of putting that in where I want it to go and the lines that I want it. So I'm doing the same thing with the white. Now for this, you could use that same white eyeliner, but I did notice that when it dried, it kind of crackled, mostly because it's not really meant to be used in that large of a area of the skin, especially since it's moving a lot. This isn't like tight skin or anything like that. So I went ahead and went with the cream paint instead, and I'm just doing the exact same thing, pushing that in the areas that I want it to be. So I'm just going to speed through this part. This part is pretty basic. Basically draw a flag and color it in. And I apologize for going off of camera a couple of times in here. It's kind of a weird angle for me, but this is what worked best. And I've never really done any of these videos where it's like straight down and it's not focused on my face or whatever. So this was kind of weird for me, but definitely kind of cool and new. And to set these, I'm just going to be using the finishing powder from NYX. I'm just going to load that onto my brush and then tap it all over here. Just because these are very oily and I can just see them moving with the slightest touch. So I'm just using this to tap over it, and I kind of blew it off. And for the stars, I'm using this NYX white liquid liner, and this is exactly what I used for the beginning. The stars look super complicated, but they're actually really easy. You kind of want to act like you're drawing a regular cross or like a T, except when you're doing the vertical part of the T, you just want to do an upside down Y. So do a little upside down Y and then cross over it. So it's super simple, especially when you're doing this. And you know what? It does not have to look perfect. You're going to cover it up with blood anyway. So this is not really the hardest part, unless this is what you just wanted to do for the 4th of July. That's totally fine. My stars did not look perfect. I didn't bother counting them, but I just wanted them to look like stars. So for the skin part, I tried like 10 different ways to do this, and honestly, if I had silicone or 3rd degree, that would have been better, but this is what I was working with. So all I did was put down a layer of liquid latex, and then I covered it with cotton. That's it. Super simple. So as you can see, all I do is dab on liquid latex, layer it with cotton, dab on more liquid latex, layer with cotton. I'm using a cosmetic sponge to press the latex down. You want to do it in thin layers so it dries faster, because this stuff kind of does take a while to dry. And as you can see, I spilled it a little bit, but that's okay. the liquid latex works really well to create kind of a fake layer of skin. So that's all I was really aiming for. And while we're doing this part, I will tell you a little bit at the end got cut off where I added some bruising around this area, which you would probably want to do since this is a little bit hard to look very natural. Natural is like a crazy word, but it's hard to look real when you're doing something like this. So after I've gone in with all of the liquid latex and the foundation and everything like that, I just went over it with some purple and blues to make it look like it was bruised and irritated. So as you can see, this is just my Fit Me concealer, or Fit Me foundation, I'm sorry, by Maybelline. I believe this is 110, and later I mixed it with a little bit of L'Oreal True Match in 5. I'm just using this with a stippling brush. You want to go with something like a stippling brush because you don't want this to be super even. You want to get down in all of the cracks and crevices. Normally, if I was applying foundation, I would apply it with my foundation brush, but that's going to give me a very smooth and even look, and that's not necessarily what I want with this since there's all of these little areas that I have to try to cover. So that's what I was trying to do. You want to make sure you eliminate as much of the white as possible, and when I was looking back over this, that's why I added a little bit of the darker foundation shade later, because this doesn't quite match. It's close but not quite. So you can see this really starts to look like burnt, damaged skin once we put the foundation on it, because before that it doesn't look like anything. So if you're doing this for the first time, don't be nervous. It's gonna work out, I promise. And so for the blood, I'm just taking special effects blood that I got at, I believe, a Halloween store, and I'm just kind of pressing that in all of the little edges and corners here. I peel up the skin a little bit, the fake skin, obviously, and I kind of push it underneath of there. That's where you want the most blood to be, because if this was real, the most blood would be in those areas. And I like to let it drip a little bit naturally because I just think that looks better. So I'm just pushing my brush under the skin and putting as much blood under there as possible. Looking back, I would have preferred probably using scab blood for underneath of here, just so it was a little bit darker. And I did go back after I was done with this part and added a little bit of black color, just the cream paint color, and added that underneath there to make it a little bit darker and look more deep and gross. So you want to kind of push that, and I'm flicking that up along the skin to make it look like it really is peeled back. And I'm just adding this in a little of the places. I kind of put the blood everywhere, and you'll see that here in a minute. I added color everywhere. I made sure that it looked very bruised, irritated, red. I made sure there was lots of blood, because the more blood, the better, in my opinion. So this is the finished product. I thank you guys so much for watching, and please subscribe. Thank you. I will see you guys next time.